Donald Trump is panicking as his catastrophic war in Iran continues to spiral out of control, and by recent reports, Donald Trump is preparing to surrender in what would be the biggest humiliating military defeat in the history of the United States. According to the Wall Street Journal, citing officials with knowledge on the matter, Donald Trump has told aides that he's willing to conclude these operations against Iran soon, even if it means leaving the Strait of Hormuz in a deadlock. Per the report, the administration assesses that operations to forcibly reopen the strait will likely extend the conflict past the previously established 4 to 5 weeks, and that reaching the goals of severely degrading Iranian conventional military capabilities may be the route to go. Additionally, according to the report, other military options on the table, including ground operations, are not part of Donald Trump's priorities. And notice they say degrading Iranian conventional military capabilities. In 2026, wars aren't fought with conventional military capabilities. They are fought with FPV drone swarms, Shahid drones, similar type drones that other countries develop, these ballistic missiles, these cluster munitions. That's how wars are fought right now. And you can even see the tone starting to change throughout the Trump regime as Trump officials and cabinet members are starting to try to accept the defeat, but try to frame it as a win. Remember when they were so confident, we're doing regime change. The people of Iran are going to take to the streets. When Donald Trump and Netanyahu get on TV, the people of Iran are going to say, thank you, Donald Trump and Netanyahu. This is what we always wanted. And we're going to make sure that Iran never develops nuclear weapons ever again. And we're going to remove all of their military capabilities, all of their missile capabilities. They're 100% obliterated. That ain't what they're saying anymore. The latest from Marco Rubio. Here are the clear objectives of the operation, Rubio says, as posted on the State Department social media accounts. You should write them down. Okay, Rubio, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to write them down. I'll use a number 2 pencil, in fact. Number 1, destruction of Iran's Air Force. Number 2, destruction of their Navy. Number 3, the severe diminishing of their missile launching capability. 4, the destruction of their factories. Then do a bullseye emoji. So not the destruction of their missile launching capabilities. Didn't Donald Trump say you've already fully obliterated the missile launching capabilities? Oh, I guess he was lying there. What about the drones? What about the nuclear weapons? What about regime change? What about the Strait of Hormuz? Oh, none of that's mentioned there. So now you went into a catastrophic and unlawful war. Iran's parliament passes a law officially saying the Strait of Hormuz belongs to Iran, where they're now going to charge a toll to their allies for use while restricting the use by the United States, Israel, and countries that are allied with them. You're going to allow Iran to control the Strait of Hormuz. You've removed the sanctions against Iranian oil. You removed the sanctions against Russian oil. Big win. Big win, Donald. I mean, if by winning it was empowering China and Russia and Iran, that's a big win for them. But what a humiliating loss for the United States. And Iran is mocking the United States every step of the way. Iran's foreign ministry social media account posted, Iran has responded positively to Donald Trump's threats, and we've reopened the Strait of Hormuz, though only for 2 Chinese oil tankers, exclamation point. And you can also see the language shifting from Israel as well, right? At the end of last week, Israel's military chief of staff said that Israel's military is about to suffer kind of a catastrophic meltdown or breakdown based on not having enough resources, supplies, and reserves that are ready. And now Israel says that it has nearly completed strikes on Iran's key military and weapon sites. Leaders have now ordered the military to shift focus towards damaging Iran's economy. Israel will now target economic assets such as gas infrastructure and steel plants to increase the pressure on the regime. That's not increasing the pressure on the regime. First off, attacking civilian areas, civilian infrastructure, that's war crimes. That's not military targets. So let's be kind of clear about that. And all it has done is, in response, Iran has attacked the steel infrastructure of its neighbors and the energy grids of its neighbors and the oil depot of its neighbors. The United States and Israel attacked Tehran University. Iran says, okay, we'll attack American universities in Qatar, and those are abandoned right now. 13 American military bases have been fully evacuated in the Middle East right now. And last night, Iran continued to strike shipping in Dubai, a big oil tanker belonging to Kuwait that was right off the coast of Dubai, was severely damaged by Iran. Iran hit an oil depot in Haifa earlier yesterday. By the way, Israel and the United States launched heavy strikes in Isfahan and other areas and near Tehran yesterday as well and into last night. But, things are escalating. Things are getting out of control, and Donald Trump wants out. Trump wants to focus on building Trump museums and having his name appear on $100 bills and commemorative coins and golden ballrooms and triumphal arches. And there's a reason why Donald Trump's approval right here in the United States is, the latest poll, 33% was the latest YouGov poll. He is the least popular in presidential history. Americans hate this guy with a passion. I mean, just look at what some former top military leaders are saying as well. The former head of the British Army, General Lord Dinant, said, if I was advising Donald Trump, I'd advise him, declare victory, start winding down the war. But I'm also pretty sure the timing of the start of this operation was not something Americans agreed to. It was something the Israelis decided to do on their behalf. The longer this goes on, the lower the chance of regime change in Iran. This is probably pushing regime change further away than bringing it closer. Retired U.S. Army Brigadier General Steve Anderson. The president and his advisors are in the midst of the greatest geopolitical disaster in the history of our country. They have completely mismanaged this war. To even talk about putting boots on the ground in any capacity, whether at Karg Island, the Straits of Hormuz, or God help us, if they try to go into Isfahan or Fordow to retrieve nuclear material, would be an absolute disaster. When I was a cadet at West Point 50 years ago, we studied Sun Tzu, the art of war. One of the things he said was, know the enemy as yourself. We do not know this enemy. The IRGC are committed religious fanatics, this guy writes, and there is no fanatic like a religious fanatic. They're not fighting for Iran, they're fighting for Allah, they're fighting for Islam. It's a kill or be killed situation. They are going to do everything possible to beat us and outlast us. If we think we're going to take Karg Island and diminish their revenues, and they care about that, that is ludicrous. But I would say to retired U.S. Army Brigadier General Steve Anderson, I don't think you fully know Iran. And one of the things I've tried to do here on the MeidasTouch network is provide the statements that they're saying so that actually people understand this kind of generalization of them as being these fanatics and these crazy people that just go around screaming like Allah Akbar all the time. And they don't know that's not what's going on. Okay. Iran is a very sophisticated society. That's one of the things, if you want to actually know them, you should know that it's a sophisticated society that generates and manufactures very sophisticated weaponry at a massive clip. I mean, they're producing, massively. They've got universities, even with the Ayatollah and all the craziness that's going on and, and the repression. They've got a university system, though, an engineering that has been able to develop these weapons such that they've been providing the weapons that Russia uses in Russia's, horrific invasion of Ukraine. And that the Iranian people actually do feel a sense. I'm just explaining to you right now, there was an opportunity to build a wedge between the Ayatollah and the Iranian people. But when Donald Trump and his regime behaved as the religious fanatics, when Pete Hegseth was like, we're doing this in the name of Jesus, or even Pope Leo XIV is basically condemning the Trump regime without using the Trump regime's name. And the Trump regime is the religious fanatics raining down missiles, loitering death from the sky, to use the word from the Trump regime. destroying elementary schools, killing 165 little girls here, dozens of children at a gym here, civilians here, people in a hospital there, working with Israel, which destroyed all of southern Lebanon and Beirut. And granted, I mean, yes, they were saying they're going after Hezbollah, but they're killing innocent citizens as well. Women, children, mothers, fathers, innocent people are dying both in Iran and in Lebanon and, of course, in Gaza. And to oversimplify that all these Iranians are fanatics, they have a clear plan. They understand in Iran that the economic pain that the U.S. and the world is feeling, that Iran can control all of this. They're taking advantage of it. They're implementing strategies. They have plans of succession. So I think a little bit more thought even needs to be played here than what was being said by that individual, by Brigadier General Steve Anderson, in my humble opinion as well. As I noted before, Kuwait's Petroleum Corporation last night reported that Iranian attack of the Kuwaiti flag crude oil tanker off the coast of Dubai in the Persian Gulf. Haifa oil depot in Israel was hit. Multiple precision strikes, though, by Israel and the U.S. in the city of Shiraz in Iran. Meanwhile, Iran is pressing the Houthis, get ready to stop the shipping in the Red Sea when we give you the order. Iran is urging Yemen's Houthi group to prepare for possible attacks on Red Sea shipping if the U.S. escalates its conflicts with Tehran. For now, U.S. and Saudi officials believe the group is holding back. However, the longer the conflict continues, the more likely the Houthis are to target the key shipping routes. I played this clip yesterday, so I'm not going to play the clip again. I'll just remind you what the spokesperson for Iranian's foreign ministry says. This was the statement yesterday. In the past 31 days, we have not had any negotiations with the United States. All conditions that the United States presented through Pakistan are rejected. Over the past year, America's deceit during negotiations has been proven twice. Now, even some of Donald Trump's most diehard and loyal MAGA people are making posts like this. Rudy Havenstein. After having joked about Trump derangement syndrome for 9 years, I now find myself at a Keith Olbermann level loathing of Trump 2.0 and his obsequious acolytes. Truly an amoral man. If you disagree, that's fine with me. I'm used to people disagreeing with me. And he's replying to his own post from November 30th of 2021, where he said, people forget that we lost a lot more people to Trump derangement syndrome than to COVID. And here he is admitting, I'm going to be honest with you, I was very wrong. JJ Carnell writes, what the FUC, you know what, are we doing? My son will never die for a foreign country. I voted for you 3 times, took abuse, and fought for you, and this is what you do? You do the exact opposite of what you rallied against for over a decade. Donald Trump is a fraud. He is a con artist, right? Also, Marco Rubio's out there saying things like this. Look, if we want to cut a deal with Iran, Iran must abandon their drone and missile programs and nuclear ambitions. If they do, Iran can have a bright future, but they have to choose the path. And for 47 years, they refused it. Reza Nasri writes, sure, let Iran abandon drones and missiles and let them just fight with bayonets and swords while we continue arming the expansionist and genocidal Israel to the teeth. So that sounds like a really bright future there, Marco. And this is coming from the administration's top diplomat, speaking of reasonable negotiations. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister, Araghchi, posted the following message next to the AWACS, the big American reconnaissance airplane, the Sentry, Air Force's crown jewel that was destroyed in Riyadh by Iran. Iran's foreign minister writes, Iran respects the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and considers it a brotherly nation. Our operations are aimed at enemy aggressors who have no respect for Arab nations or Iranians, nor can provide any security. Just look at what we did to their aerial command. High time to eject U.S. forces. And this is one of the things that Iran is really pushing on to its Arab nation neighbors. They're saying America's security umbrella has made us strike you. But for that security umbrella, we wouldn't be hitting you. What has this security umbrella brought you? And what Araghchi is preparing for is what this video is about. Donald Trump's surrender. what Araghchi sees, what Iran's foreign ministry sees, what Iran's president Pezeshkian and its Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps see, is that Donald Trump doesn't have the stomach for this fight, and that Donald Trump's likely going to leave, declare a fake victory, and then the Arab nations in the region are going to be left with a empowered Iran that controls the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran's going to dominate it now strongly and say, Arab nations, you should be doing the security deal with us. Ultimately, a massive win for Russia, who's the main kind of donor, if you will, to Iran. A bigger win for China that's kind of just been sitting out there, although China is suffering from minimal LNG, liquefied natural gas, and they're having some oil shortages, although Iran has allowed some of its shipping tankers from China to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, but it's still impacting China. But with all this going on, remember, what does Donald Trump really want to do? He wants to do things like this: flying Apache helicopters next to Kid Rock's home so Kid Rock can make videos with our Apaches. I mean, just think about this, right? You have these Apache attack helicopters in Tennessee flying over the No Kings protest to intimidate protesters, while the Apaches then fly to Kid Rock and go to Kid Rock's home. U.S. Army officials have ordered an investigation into the activities of two AH-64 Apache attack helicopters that went to Kid Rock's home after intimidating No Kings protesters. That's what Trump wants to do. Trump wants to build, look at what they're saying, the presidential library is going to look like, some massive skyscraper in Miami that's an eyesore. That's what Trump wants to do. And as I mentioned, he wants to talk about golden ballrooms. But as I noted before, these Arab nations, they are livid. I did a video about it last night. UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. They're like, you ain't leaving, Donald. We bought you. Okay. Remember those planes we bought you? Literally. Remember we invested in World Liberty Financial, those Trump buildings in the region. Yeah. We thought we were getting something in return. You ain't leaving us. So you're either going to send your troops here, or if you leave us, we're going to look for a new security structure out here without you. That's where things stand. I hope you appreciate this comprehensive update. We'll keep you posted as always, every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 7 million subscribers. We'd love to hit 7 million subscribers this month, April. It's in April. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, everybody.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.